All right, we're recording. Thanks, guys, for hopping on. It is Monday, March 28th or March 18th. I know I kind of switched the schedule a little bit last minute. I realized the other day that I'm going to be away next Monday. And so I wanted to do the Coach Basics call tonight. And then next week, Randy is going to host a live power hour for us because I will be away and I might be around, but I can't be sure. We're going to be away with the in-laws. And so, it just leaves me open for more flexibility. So today we're going to go over Coach Basics. I know I say it every single time, but I love this call. I think it's important for both newer coaches and veteran coaches to be on this call because you fall into one of the two categories. You're either a newer coach, and by new, within the last 6 months, because I think you're constantly learning in this business, and I feel like there's a lot of information in this call, and it probably takes you hearing this call a few times all the way through to really dig in and really get to comprehend everything that I'm saying. Or you're more of a veteran coach and you are here because you're learning to share this information with your new coaches. So either way, I'm glad for you guys to be here, and we're gonna get started. So the four topics that we're going to kind of go over a little bit are vision and goal setting. Remember, this is meant to be like Coach Basics, like getting your business off the ground and running. And one of the biggest things for that is vision and goal setting. Having that mentality and having that mindset and having the vision of where you're taking this business is so important. Success Club and incentives, going all over like kind of the nitty gritty stuff with that. Rank and controlled business center, and then volume. A lot of that is also tied into our Emerald calls, which I'll be doing another one tomorrow night. So I'll hit on it a little bit tonight, but we'll go in more depth tomorrow night. I just have to remind myself to take a breath once in a while. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, I know I say this all the time too, everybody's muted just for background noise, but if you have any questions, this is the kind of call too that I want you to unmute yourself, ask the question. It probably is going to make more sense for both of us if you ask the question kind of in the moment rather than waiting till the end. You could also throw it in the chat, but I'm not very good at looking at the chat. So our best bet is for you to just unmute yourself and ask any question. It's likely if you have a question, somebody else probably has the exact same one. Hold on, I'm just going to let my dog in. Honey bunny. Come here, babe. Okay. All right, so let's get started. So going over the basics of vision and goal setting. So I want you to know, coaches that really dive in with this, and that doesn't mean you're going to know everything right off the bat, because as I say all the time, nobody goes to school for Beachbody coaching. You just don't. And so everybody comes into this needing to kind of learn the basics and learn the ropes and kind of get a feel for it themselves. But those coaches who really dive in and really soak up all the information that is available to them, whether it is the new coach mentorship training on our website, whether it is all the team calls, like the Team Liberate calls, the Team Boom calls, the National Wake Up Call. If you should be in the Beachbody Champions page, if you're not in the Beachbody Champions page, you should go there right now and add yourself. There's always guest speakers, top coaches going live in there, sharing information. It's a really valuable resource. Whatever information you have available to you, you want to really be digging deep and asking a ton of questions. That's how we learn. There's no such thing as like a silly question. And if you have a question, somebody else I'm sure has it too. So like really dig in, soak it all up, ask so many questions, and know that it's okay to make mistakes. That's part of the process. You're going to make mistakes, and then you're going to pick yourself back up, and you're going to learn from those mistakes, and you're going to keep moving forward. I really encourage you as a new coach, especially, not to look at this as something more that's being added to your plate. And this is really interesting to me because this is always how I felt, that it's not something more, but I never really knew how to articulate it until I heard Ashley Dyson, who is, a top coach in the company, also on Team Boom, until I heard her talk about it, and I was like, had a huge light bulb moment. Rather than looking at this as something more, it's like, oh, I have to do my business. I have to do my power hour today. I have to get in those 20 invites or whatever you're going to do each day. Thinking of it more as like something that is an outlet to your busy, crazy, hectic, out of control sometimes life. Like your business is something you get to do. And the sooner you can have that mentality switch in your head, the better off you're going to be. Think of your business as something you can control. I am a huge control freak. And so I think that's especially why this resonated with me. But it was like an aha moment. Like it totally made sense. Your business is something that you have full control over when you might not have control over things that are going on at home, appointments you have missed, like things with your kids, things with your spouse, your 9-to-5 job. Like that might seem all out of control. But then going and digging into that, your business where you have control over how many invites you send, you have control over how many follow-ups you do, you have control over the quality of your post, you have control over how many new people you add to your network that day. You know what I mean? Think of it as something you can control, and it's going to totally shift your mindset. And believe it or not, that mentality is going to come through in your posts and in your messages and your conversations behind the scenes. Treat this business as if you've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think the fact that with a challenge pack, joining this business is essentially free. Yeah, we have the $16 a month, but the sign-up cost is free as long as you've gotten a challenge pack. I think that's a blessing and a curse sometimes, because I think sometimes people can easily get into the mindset of like, oh, it's free to join, I might as well just give it a try. And then you kind of come in with this mindset that like, if I try, I try. If I don't, I don't. If I succeed, I do. And if I don't, I don't. Like, it's not a big deal. No sweat off my shoulders. I haven't really invested that much into it. But again, talking about mindset, vision, goal setting, if you can switch that mentality in your head and try to think of this business, because it is a legitimate business. Maybe you've only invested $16 a month for the past 3 months, plus your products and such. But if you can have that mentality, because that's not the norm. Obviously, we know that. If you were to go buy like a brick and mortar Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's or Lowe's or Walmart or whatever, you're going to put down a shit ton of money, like a whole lot of money that's going to scare the crap out of you. And, think about how much you would freaking hustle to make that money back and then to earn more. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to come into this business having that mentality that you have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and you are going to work your ass off. You're not going to watch, the show and the show. You're not going to go out with your friend, not ever, but maybe you're going to, if you had invested that much money, maybe you're going to make some different choices along the road to ensure that you spend the time on your business each day that you should be spending it on. So just think of, again, shifting that mindset and, having that mentality. This business, which is kind of ironic that it's in my notes like this, because Team Liberate comes from the word, liberate, meaning freedom. And whatever that freedom means to you, I hope you know that this opportunity will allow you to get there as long as you put in the work and never give up. We always talk about like being here a year from now. Well, be here 2 years from now. Be here 3 years from now. Commit to being here 4 years from now. My coach anniversary is 4 years next month, and there's nowhere I'd rather be. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. And once you can see this business, and maybe as a brand new coach, it might be a little bit more difficult for you to see it for yourself because you've just started. But look at some others. Maybe your upline's been in this coach for a year, or been in this business for a year or two. Look at me. I've been here almost 4 years, and I have accomplished so many of the goals that I had set for myself when I first started. Look at Annie. Look at Ashley Feldyson. Look at Pat. Think of this business as the avenue to your freedom. And what I say all the time is that freedom looks different for all of us. Like that, of course it does. For me, when I first started this business, I saw Annie as like living the most perfect life. She was home with her kids. She was happy. She was healthy. She was making money. She just had the flexibility. And that's just something I had always wanted. And so for me, freedom was not having that 9 to 5. Freedom was not having a boss. Freedom was being able to sleep in on a Friday if I wanted to. Freedom was being able to take my kid to the dentist today at 9 a.m. and not having to call in sick. Like, that's freedom for me. Whereas if you follow Pat, freedom to him is, having all the money he needs to travel and having all the time he needs to travel and not having to ask a boss for time off to go and travel. Like, he loves traveling. That's what freedom means to him. So when you can see that this business is the freedom, it's like your ticket to whatever life you want to live, and you can be serious enough in your business to want to accomplish that freedom. Like, that's when you're going to see success. Like, it goes kind of hand in hand with your why, like whatever your why is, whatever freedom means to you, if you can take it seriously enough and you can, put in the work and do what it takes and show up every single day, then that's when you're going to see success in this business. So just, it's all of these little tiny like mentality switches, seeing it as freedom, seeing it as an outlet that you can control, seeing it as something that you've invested hundreds of dollars on. Those are the people who have those mindset shifts or have those mindsets from the beginning. Those are the people who are going to see the most success. So if that's not a mentality that you have at this moment, that's okay. Not everybody comes into this business having that mindset already, but that should be a focus for you to continue to work on having that mindset shift. We all know there's a lot of Beachbody coaches out there. There are not too many Beachbody coaches out there, especially with us expanding. Now we're in the UK. It sounds like this spring or this summer we're going to be hearing about a newer expansion. Like, this business is really still at the baby stages, if you can believe it. But even so, there's probably a bunch of coaches on the feeds of your friends and family and followers. So you need to think about, what are you doing differently in this business? What are you going to do that's going to set you apart from the other people who are on the feeds of, your friends and family? What's going to make you stand out when they are scrolling their Instagram or scrolling their Facebook? And what's going to make you different is by you being you and you sharing your story authentically. Of course, we're going to share about health and fitness. That's what we do. My post today was about nutrition, but that's not all I post about. If you were in the Dash to Diamond group, I talked a lot about sharing your story. Think of health and nutrition coaching being like one or two of like the top 5 things that make you you, and share about those other things just as much as you share about health and fitness. And that's where the beauty of stories comes in. Stories just obviously kind of came about the last, year and a half. And I've been a coach for almost 4 years. So we didn't have that when I first started. So social media looked quite different. But those day-to-day things, like, I work out most days a week. So those are the things that are definitely going into my stories. And then I share about health and nutrition here and there on my page, if that makes sense, because I want to leave room for the other 3 or 4 things that make me me, like being a mom, now being pregnant, being an ex-wife, being an ex-teacher, being a wife, being, being anxiety warrior, having anxiety. Those are the things that make me me, and those are the things that a lot of people are going to relate to. So you want to make sure those are showing up on your page. So by being you, you're being different, you're standing out, you just want to share you, and it just so happens that health and fitness is part of your story and part of your journey. Think about your why. We all have different whys for coming into this business. Again, if you are a brand new coach, likely one of your whys is that you like to help people, and that is great. This is not a business for somebody who doesn't like to help people, but even so, you got to have a why that's deeper than that. And if you don't have that why yet, that's okay. New coaches especially don't come in having this really deep why. It's kind of something that evolves the more that you are in this business, and the more that you see the potential in this business, and the more that you allow yourself to kind of dream bigger, if that makes sense. Like, when I first started, my why was to be able to stay home with my son. And once I accomplished that, it's like you kind of keep adding to your why. And every time you realize, I made this much money this week, I made this much money this week, like, I can really do this. And I see this girl doing this, and I see this girl doing this. You start to, like I said, allow yourself to kind of dream bigger and think bigger. So think about why you're here, because having an emotionally attached why is what's going to keep you showing up every single day, especially days that you feel like you don't have the time to work your business, or it's just not convenient to work your business. If you have that strong why, and then going back to the other mentalities, if you have that strong why, if you have a mindset that you've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in this business, if you have the mentality that this business is going to allow you that freedom, like, that's what's going to keep you pushing on every single day, even when you don't feel like it. You know, we're all human. I don't always feel like working my business every day, but I show up because I have big, hairy, scary goals in this business. And I know that putting in the work each and every day is going to just ultimately add up to my overall success, which is, you know, my bigger why. So like when I started, my why was to stay home, and then it got bigger. You know, we wanted to move. We wanted to be able to have another child. We needed more room. So we needed to have a bigger home. And, you know, it just kind of continues to snowball. One random note here I have is the only way, you know, especially for newer coaches, the only way to mess up in this business is to not be in love with your journey first. And I like to point that out because I think I often got away from that as a new coach, because when I started as a coach, I also started on my health journey. So whereas a lot of us bring on clients who then fall in love with the products and the programs and then want to pay it forward, I did both at the same time. And I was so money driven because I wanted to stay home so badly that I often sometimes forgot to be in love with my journey first. And, you know, that's the basis of this business, is being a product of the product. And, you know, both with fitness and nutrition, and sharing your journey and just being in love with that journey, and not thinking of working out and eating right as a chore, but as it makes you the best version of yourself. It makes you feel good. It makes you look good. It makes, you know, you can just kind of feel it. And you know, that will shine through in your posts and your stories and your conversations that you're having kind of behind the scenes. So be in love with your journey first. Like, that's the most important thing. And then everything else is just going to naturally kind of domino from that. Like, if you're feeling good, then you're going to be smiling more. And if you're getting good results, then you're going to be more apt to stick with it. And, you know, again, like, that's going to shine through with everything that you do. And that's when people are going to want to join you, because that energy and that excitement and that happiness and that success is contagious. And that's when people are going to want to join you. So don't forget to be in love with your own journey first. That really should come. I'm just going to write myself a quick note. And then I just have the two analogies, one that's Pat's analogy and one that is Ashley Feld Dyson's analogy. So Pat's analogy is the escalator mindset. So think of yourself on an escalator. Think of your vision and your why at the top of that escalator, and you just want to get to the top. You want to get to the top of the escalator, and you want to achieve your goals, and think of how happy that's going to make you feel, and, you know, what you're going to be able to do with those goals, and, you know, where your life is going to be at that time. And then he thinks of, you know, every time you do something that gets you closer to your goal, you're going up the escalator. But then when you take a break and you totally just like bail on social media, you quit your own journey, even if it's just for like a week, if you go MIA, your followers are going to notice. And then he talks about, you know, that is making you go down the escalator. And every time you step away, every time you don't post, every time, not that you have to post every day, but you know what I mean, in general, not posting, not inviting, not being a product of the product, you're going back down the escalator, and you kind of got to start over. Ashley Feld Dyson's, you know, similar analogy is adding the pebble to your pile. So she talks about, you know, every little thing you do is like a little tiny pebble. So like every time you work out, that's a little pebble. Every time you drink your shake, that's a pebble. You share your journey, that's a pebble. You share something, again, not necessarily about your journey, but about your story. That's a pebble. And every day you're just going about your business. You're doing your thing because that's what you know you're supposed to do, and you're very consistent with it. Just adding to your pile and adding to your pile. And then all of a sudden you look over one day and you have like created this huge mountain. Like all your pebbles have added up to this huge mountain because all of your energy and all of your activities every little day, even though they seem so insignificant at the time, they really do add up. And when you have that huge, huge pile, that's when you're going to reach your goals. But again, same thing with Pat. Like every time you take a break from social media, you stop posting on your storefront, which is your page, that takes away the piles, the pebbles from your pile. And then you're gonna have to start back from where you started. Think of your page as your storefront. Think of your journey as like the proof of what we're doing here. When you step away from that, when you bail on that for like a significant amount of time, that's showing your followers that you're inconsistent and you're not serious. And that's going to be hard for them to trust you on this journey and to want to join you if you're not showing them that you're being consistent with the journey too. That's why we talk about being a product of the product and showing up consistently. You don't have to post every single day. I don't. But you just have to be consistent with it. Your people have to know that they can rely on you when they have had enough time to follow you and see that you're the real deal, you're not going anywhere, and you are genuinely in it to help them reach their goals. That's when they're going to trust you, and that's when they're going to join you. So don't ever stop. And then finally, you got to start dreaming. Dream really freaking big. Like I said, when you first start coaching, you probably have this why of like, oh, I like to help people. Oh, I want to, make a little bit of money to cover this or this and this. But then the more that you're in this business and you see the potential, you got to start dreaming. Like your dreams should either make you need to throw up, or you should be embarrassed you shouldn't really be embarrassed, but you should feel like embarrassed to share your dreams with somebody outside of Beachbody because they seem that crazy and unrealistic. But in Beachbody land, like we're all super supportive and we absolutely know the potential in this business. So start dreaming, start creating that vision for your life and what it can become if you are in this business to win it. If you're in it to win it, you are not going anywhere. You don't give a crap if it takes you 2 years to get there, if it takes you 4 years to get there, if it takes you 10 years to get there. This is something that Pat always says, like, who cares if it takes you 5 years? So it takes you 5 years when you reach that goal, whatever it may be, you're going to be like 40? You still have another 40 years to enjoy it, rather than the alternative, which is work and if that's your freedom. For me, freedom means not having a 9 to 5, but maybe you love your 9 to 5. Whatever the freedom means to you, like sure, it's going to take you a few years to get it, but then you have all that time to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So it's totally worth it. So dream big, write down your goals, because I think you'd be surprised. It'd be really awesome to, especially as new coaches, to write down your goals today, to look back at those goals every 6 months and see, which ones you're accomplishing, and then having to set bigger, higher, more lofty goals for yourself and your business. Okay, so we're kind of switching gears here. The rest of this is kind of like info, like that's more obviously vision, mindset, kind of more like, visionary, fluffy stuff. The rest of this is like legit, straight facts and info, but I'm just going to check in on the chat before I keep moving on. Let me see if I can even find. Okay. Nothing in the chat, so let's keep going. Okay, I'll try to make these next ones quicker, which they usually are. All right, so Success Club and incentives. If you're a new coach, you might be like, what is Success Club? Success Club measures the amount of lives you're changing every month. These are new lives you're changing every month. Or someone who has purchased from you in the past, but it's been at least 6 months. If it's been over 6 months, then you can get more Success Club points from that person. So essentially everything we sell has two different kind of points systems associated with it. The first one we're going to talk about is Success Club. Mostly everything we sell is 2 Success Club points. One way to get Success Club points is putting somebody on Shakeology Home Direct, meaning they're intending to get it monthly. That's 2 points. Or the other one is selling a challenge pack. And that is, challenge pack is when you get two or more things together and Beachbody gives you like a discount on it. So like the most popular one, well, before Ultimate Portion Fix came out, was like Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology challenge pack. You get it together. We as coaches get 2 Success Club points from it. Them as our clients, our customers, they're getting like a discount because they're getting it together. Beachbody thinks, hey, you're getting these 2 things together. That's going to give you even more better results. We're going to give you a discount on it. There is like a 3-day refresh and Shakeology challenge pack. You can get Beachbody On Demand at the Performance line. You can get Ultimate Portion Fix and BOD and Shakeology, Ultimate Portion Fix and Shakeology challenge pack. Like there's so many challenge packs out there. But those are the 2 ways you can get Success Club points. And when you've helped at least 3 people, because if you're helping 3 people, it's 2 points, 4 points, 6 points. That means you've hit Success Club. The bar of Success Club is Success Club 5. There's really not a ton of ways to get 5 anymore. So really it's like the bar is more like 6, but it's technically still 5. So you're striving every single month to help at least 3 new people change their life with a challenge pack or Shakeology Home Direct. Really, this should be your goal monthly. Even as a new coach, this is something you should be striving for monthly. It is not like the end all be all, but it's a great way to kind of gauge your progress in this business. If you're helping 3 people, that means you are doing your job. You are showing up to be a product of the product. You're sharing your journey. You're clearly inviting people, because you're not going to get people to buy from you if you're not inviting. You're probably not going to be inviting if you're not, posting. You're not going to be posting if you're not working out. Kind of just is that domino effect. A couple of incentives for getting Success Club. Number 1, they've kind of revamped it a little bit, but there's Success Club prizes. So in a given year, if you hit Success Club 1 month, there's a first prize. So far, I've gotten for 2019 this really cool like Navy Coach tank. It's like this vintagey tank that you can work out in. It's awesome. Once you've hit Success Club for 3 months in any given 3 months in a given year, there's another prize. I'm not sure what the second one is. And then any 6 months in a given year, there's a next prize. I like it. It's kind of fun and exciting. They've always done like different things, obviously shirts, hats, gym bags, lunch totes, bobbleheads of the celebrity trainers, exclusive podcasts. Like there was one with Rachel Hollis last year, just like really cool stuff. And it's not something they have to do. Like it's a really cool bonus for us as coaches. So it's kind of fun and exciting. The other thing they do is a Success Club trip. So every year, yes, there is a free trip. All you have to pay for is airfare. And then there's a deposit. Last year we went to Mexico. We went to Mexico last year. That was a lot of fun. This year, everybody is headed on a cruise. I'm unfortunately not going because I'm pregnant, and one of the stops is Haiti, and it's a Zika area, and I just don't feel comfortable going. So I'm so bummed. I'm going to have super FOMO, but I was all ready to go. Next year, we're going to Punta Cana, and will definitely be there. Basically, so to go on the 2019 trip, you had to have earned it in 2018. So, I've already signed, then you have to sign up it's like almost 2 years ago. Don't worry about that. But you basically earn it for earning Success Club. Every year, Beachbody generates like a giant list of like the top, they start with like 5,000, I think, Success Club earners, and they work their way down the list because it is a Success Club trip. So you earn it, you earn your way on by hitting Success Club and how many lives you've changed. It's really incredible. It's just, it's truly like a vacation, where Summit's incredible and it's a lot of fun, but it's definitely more businessy mixed with fun. Whereas the Success Club trip is like straight up fun. There are the celebrity trainers there. You do group workouts if you want to. Everything's kind of optional. So I'm already signed up for Punta Cana. I know Kelsey is. I'm not sure who else is, but you should definitely make that a goal for yourself to get to Punta Cana next year with us. And then they have Success Club Starter, meaning your first 3 full months as a coach. Now, they let you pick your first month because, let's, for example, say you signed up today, March 18th. that only gives you 12 more days in the month to hit Success Club, and that's kind of iffy. I mean, it's not like it can't be done, but as a new coach, they let you decide, okay, well, March can be your first month if you wanted to. Maybe you have a lot of luck in the last 12 days of the month, and then April and May. Or they would say, you can choose for April to be your first month and May and June. But when you hit Success Club, your first 3 consecutive months as a coach, you earn your free ticket to Summit. The following year, Summit is like the mother of all events. It's in Indy this year, the weekend of July 11th. I know there is a lot of us in here going already. If you have not yet decided to go, if you haven't committed yet, tickets will go on like a discounted sale starting March 24th through March 31st. It is the last time that they will be on sale for the 2019 Summit. You can still go. Yes.
Hey, do you have to be a certain rank for that? Because I'm not Emerald yet.
No, to go to Summit?
No. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. I thought I had seen that somewhere, and I was like, oh, crap, maybe I should ask.
No, you know what you're thinking of? You're thinking of the Push to Summit group. Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's a great question. So to go to Summit, anybody can go to Summit. That's okay. My husband, who's been a discount, he like works a little bit of my business. He doesn't work his own business, but he's gone with me forever. Yeah, anybody can go. And then like Chelsea said, there's a Push to Summit group that like Pat Reelman, Amy, Ashley Fell-Dyson, and a bunch of other top coaches are running that we're invited to join. But in order to join that, you have to be an Emerald by March 28th, and you have to have hit Success Club by March 28th. But it's free, and it's just a lot of awesome info that we'll get as we lead up to Summit. So that's definitely something to strive for. If you have any questions about Summit, again, the tickets go on sale, like super sale, starting March 24th. I would highly recommend, I think there's 24 of us in here so far going. You'll meet people on Team Boom. You'll obviously meet us on Team Liberate if you haven't met us in person. It's like the whole weekend, everybody's like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you, but I feel like I already know you, but it's so nice to meet you, because we know each other online, but we've never known each other in person. We throw a bunch of girls in a room to make it cheaper. It's just super, super, super fun. If you haven't committed to going yet, I highly recommend you consider it. All right, moving on to Rank and Control Business Center. Again, this and volume I'll talk about more in depth in the call, the Push to Emerald call tomorrow, but I'm going to run through it really quickly now. So everyone in this business starts as a coach. That's your first rank as a coach, and you're striving to hit Emerald. Emerald is when you have an active coach on your left leg and an active coach on your right leg. They can be anybody. They can be someone who wants to work the business, or they can be someone who simply wants the discount. If you go into your coach online office, then you go to the Monitor My Business tab, you go down to Graphical Genealogy. You can see the coaches below you, but if those aren't people that you've brought on, those are going to be people that other teammates have put below you, and that's where that whole like team aspect comes into play. But in order to be an Emerald, you have to bring in 2 of your own people. We call them personally sponsored coaches. In order to get to Emerald, you want to hit this as soon as possible for a number of reasons. The biggest reasons being you are going to be accruing volume. So when I said that each thing that we sell has a point system associated with it, one of those is Success Club points, and one of those is volume points. It kind of goes hand in hand with the volume topic. But everything we sell, for lack of a better word, has a volume system associated with it. And all the activity that goes on below you in your business on your left leg kind of gets accumulated throughout the week, and then everything on your right leg gets accumulated throughout your week, and it all adds up, all that volume. So anything that you sell from your left leg, anything that a coach from you sells from your left leg, anything that a coach on your left leg actually orders themselves, all of that volume gets accrued. And then when you have 200 points on one leg and 100 points on the other, you get to cash out. And that's where the residual side of this income potential comes in. As an Emerald, you cycle for $14 a cycle. And as a Ruby, it's $16, and as a Diamond Plus, it's $18 a cycle. It might not seem like a lot, but if you are cycling like 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 times, I think Annie cycles like 100 and something times a week. It's just crazy. It just really, really, really adds up. But that's where that long-term vision and being here a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now really comes into play. So that's the residual side of things. That's where volume comes in. That's one of the reasons why you want to get to Emerald as soon as possible, because you can't accrue that volume until you're an Emerald. When you're an Emerald, Beachbody says to themselves, like, okay, you're an Emerald, you're taking your business seriously, we're going to let you accrue this volume. You're not an Emerald and you have all of this volume that's accumulating, it's just going right out the window every week. But Beachbody has they don't make you lose it if you don't use it. As long as you're an Emerald and you're accruing volume and you're staying an Emerald, they're going to allow you to let that volume accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, which is amazing. So that's one of the reasons why you want to get to Emerald as soon as possible. The other one is the free lead program. Everybody who orders something from Beachbody On Demand or an infomercial or something, they get pulled together, like all these random customers who don't have a coach. And then all the coaches who are an Emerald and hitting Success Club every month. Every month, Beachbody will evenly distribute those customers to the coaches who have what's the word I'm looking for? Who have earned what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. My brain is fried. For everyone who has earned that by being at least an Emerald and hitting Success Club, at least Success Club 5, they distribute those customers evenly to all of us coaches, and you get free leads coming to you, like people who are already interested in the products and programs. Not all of them are going to want to, chat with you, but sometimes you get some really great ones that make it totally worth it. So those are the two biggest reasons why you want to get to Emerald and you want to stay in Emerald. Like I said, it doesn't matter who those people are. Your neighbor, your babysitter, your son's teacher, your yoga instructor, your significant other, it doesn't matter who they are. You want to get to and keep them active, meaning they're ordering at least 50 volume points worth of product every month. You do want one of those people to be your controlled business center. Now, depending on where you are in the genealogy of your coach, one of your legs is your strong leg and your weak leg, but one of those is your weak leg and one of those is your strong leg. Depends where you are, your upline, or I can help you figure out which is which. But we recommend signing up someone who is going to allow you to control their business. So a lot of us sign up our significant others, and you want to do this right away so that their business center starts accruing that. It has the option to accrue that volume as soon as possible. And I have a visual that I can show you tomorrow night that'll make that make a little bit more sense. But your controlled business center is a business center that you can control. So my husband, he works, he helps me with my business, but we have his business open and I control it. I think there's some girls on here who probably are under my husband, but it's all me working with those girls. But by having him have a business, and by being an Emerald and being active, he's accruing that volume. He's an Emerald, and every week he gets paid out on that residual income, and then I get paid out on that residual income. So it's kind of like we're double dipping for our family, and I can control who I put under him. I can control the money. So he and I have a shared bank account so that the money comes into my account. If you don't have a significant other right now, you might want to consider a parent, a sibling, someone who you can trust and who's going to allow you to work their business and who's going to give you the money that you earn through their business. Again, we recommend you do it as soon as possible, and it's because you want to put them in a place where they can get the maximum amount of volume. This is not something you're going to see benefits from overnight. It takes time to build your business. But again, when you have that mentality that you're going to be here no matter what in 3 years from now, it makes total sense. Even if you don't understand it right away, just trust me, trust your coach, trust the process, trust the business, and just do it.
Brooke, I'm sorry. Yeah. I have one more question.
Sorry at all.
Do you this might be a silly question, but because I think I just answered it, but you pay the $16 for your controlled business center too. So your husband, you pay the $16. Okay. All right.
Luckily my husband drinks Shakeology every day.
Right. Well, I'm trying to get my husband on board with that.
He is the true product of the product. We drink Energize every day. We drink Shakeology every day. He drinks Hydrate every day. So it's not hard, but so there's different ways that you can keep him active, even if he's not drinking Shakeology every day, like the beach bars or like the Refresh or whatnot. But at the very least, even if you don't plan to keep them active and to help you stay Emerald, you definitely want to at least sign them up and pay that $16 fee to hold their spot.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, it gets you halfway to Emerald. I would recommend signing them up with a challenge pack, different challenge pack than what you bought, so that you can try different products. You also get the volume, you get the Success Club points, and you get the commission. You get the $50 commission, and it gets you halfway to Emerald. It's just like a solid win. Bless you, Danielle. And I kind of skipped over around here, so I think I actually already talked about everything. So to kind of wrap up, so I like to think of residual income, which is, where you are cycling, that $14 for an Emerald, $16 for a Ruby, $18 for a Diamond. I like to think of that as free money. Every Thursday, you'll see me giving shout outs to people who earned free money every week. It's literally money that you're earning just for doing your job. Like, this is the stuff that we're going to do anyway. And that's the beauty of residual income. Like, I am pregnant now, and when I have my baby, I'm probably, I'm never going to totally step away, but I'm sure I'm going to take a little bit of time, extra time to be with family and stuff. And I'm going to continue to get paid even when I go from working like 20 hours a week now to maybe like 5 hours a week for a couple weeks or a month or so. Like, I'm still going to get paid. And I have a girlfriend who is also pregnant, and she tutors. And so she's going to be, for however long she's not tutoring, she's going to be completely out of money. And that's where the residual income, like the beauty of residual income comes in. Like, I'm going to be a brand new mom, maybe like the last week before I give birth, I'm going to be able to kind of, relax a little bit more. Obviously, being in the hospital and the first few weeks coming home being sleep deprived, like, I'm probably going to step back a little bit, but I'm still going to be getting paid. And that's where the amazingness that is residual income comes in. So I encourage you, to think about where you will be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Think of your goals, think of your why, start dreaming, dream really, really big. And just know that this business, you learn as you do. We can teach you maybe 50% of this business, and then the other half you learn as you go. You're going to make mistakes. That's totally normal. It's par for the course. You learn from your mistakes, and then that's what makes you better the next time around. So that is it. I like to wrap up by 9 o'clock. So do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions afterwards, feel free to ask if something comes up. Okay? So I'm going to hop off then, and I will post the recording as soon as we're done. Oh, let's take a quick picture. Chelsea, are you there for a picture? There she is. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. That's totes going on my stories. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. I really, 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 really appreciate you guys. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.